Hey everybody, we're live and it's a quick live stream because there's a can only be described as a big mess defining the National Football League right now, 10:21 at night Eastern. I was informed by the NFL that the Saints Broncos game is going to go on even though there are no quarterbacks right now. And if we go to Twitter right now, if you take a look here, you can see what's happening. The top news right now on Twitter is that the San Francisco 49ers can't play or practice at home as Santa Clara County bans contact sports for 3 weeks. Ouch. And then you've got some NFL fans are pointing out that Colin Kaepernick is still available after ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that all four Denver QBs are ineligible to play after being deemed high risk for COVID-19. Now, I reached out to the NFL approximately, let's see, that would have been by text, roughly 8:29 this evening, 8:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 10:22 now, and I was told specifically that I asked, hope all is well. Is the Saints Broncos game to be canceled or postponed? Best Zenny. I got back the response, game on. And then I wrote back, they got a QB. And then the response I received was, they will have one. Yes. In other words, they don't have a quarterback now, but come tomorrow, they will have one. Who? I don't know. Everyone is speculating as to who the quarterback might be. And as I go here right now and I type Denver Broncos trending, I see news, Denver Broncos quarterback trial 7 a.m. Sunday, 4 seasons, total landscaping. That's a joke. There's another one that says, if you're reading this tweet, you are the new Denver Broncos QB. And then Ian Rappaport reported 3 hours from now that Broncos wide receiver Kendall Hilton will play plenty at quarterback tomorrow, source said. 2020, he did play QB for a few years at Wake Forest. This is a total guess, all right? Because we don't know who that source was that told him that. And you might as well just forfeit the game if you don't have any quarterback that can play. And then you've got, let's see here, basically Adam Schefter kicked it off, summing it up this way, as you can see, with this classic tweet, which goes like this. It says, to sum it up this Saturday, Ravens reserve COVID-19 list grew to 18 players. Lions did a house clean, which they should have done a year ago. They fired both their general manager and the head coach, Matt Patricia. The 49ers have no place to play, and the Broncos have no quarterbacks. That sums it up. You want me to repeat that? Okay. To sum it up, the Ravens reserve COVID-19 list grew to 18 players. The Lions fired their head coach and their general manager. The 49ers have no stadium to play in legally, and the Broncos have no quarterbacks. Actually, what the 49ers could do, and I might reach out to my source and find out if this is possible, is the Coliseum. The question is, would the Coliseum be made available for that? And what would it take to make that happen? It's too short a notice. It's a less than 24-hour turnaround. But I have to reach out and find out as to how that would work out, which I will do. So we've got, this is, the coronavirus has impacted all of our lives now. Our vlogger, Joseph Amanduras, is suffering from it. He's in the hospital now. And we wish him all the prayers for a speedy recovery. And wow, this is a big, big mess. Now, there are people who believe, hold on a second. It says there are people who believe that the NFL should just simply not even have the season because this is just getting worse and worse and worse. And even if you watch college football, you see players playing without a mask. They're getting into each other's face, uh, saying, "Hey, this is great," and they're celebrating and they're acting as if there's no virus. They don't have anything covering their face. And think about it, some of the players actually wear mouthpieces. So you think if they can wear a mouthpiece, they can certainly wear a mask, right? I mean, it just makes sense, right? But that's not what's happening. Um, they're not wearing them, and they're getting in huddles. And I think when I look at a huddle and I see all these players huddled together, grouped together, I think super spread event, super spread. Lindsey Jones tweeted just a minute ago, COVID chaos in the NFL, the latest on Broncos quarterback situation. Who is Kendall Hilton? And where will the 49ers relocate? It's not Oakland. It should be Oakland, okay? It should be Oakland. In fact, let me, folks, let me do something here that might help out with this situation. One moment, please. I'm going to put myself on mute. I just want to try something here. I'm trying to find out if I can catch a member of the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum board available. It's Saturday night. It's 7:28 back there. I just called one friend who's, didn't answer the phone. Not because it's me, just didn't answer the phone because whatever. Let me try something else. One moment, please. Hey, everybody, I'm unmuting my mic. I was calling key Coliseum board members, and I also texted the mayor to ask if the 49ers could use the Coliseum for the stadium play. I haven't gotten a call back from anybody or a response back from anybody, but look, it's Thanksgiving holiday weekend. It's Saturday night. It's 7:31. If you're back east visiting your folks, it's 10:31. So, there. Now, my speculation on that is I would be surprised if the Coliseum and the East Bay entities let the 49ers use their facility because of a rule regarding public safety. Okay, that was established by the county of Alameda, the county of Santa Clara. I can't see it. I mean, it's worth asking, right? But the reason I can't see it is for the same reasons that I said the Raiders would not successfully get to use the Giants baseball stadium because they didn't want to play at the Coliseum because they had a legal dispute. Remember that? And I said, look, the Board of Supervisors of San Francisco and the mayor is not going to stick their neck out and make the mayor of Oakland look bad because of a dispute that the mayor of Oakland and the city has with the Raiders. That's just not good political play. It's not something that's done. I've never seen it done unless somebody just was really trying to stick it to someone else. I have seen it. I mean, the closest this comes is economic issues. For example, the city and town of San Francisco going after the Warriors, right? Because they felt like, hey, it was fair game. But remember, at that time, the Warriors did not have a legal dispute with the city of Oakland. Or the county of Alameda, or the East Bay Indies. If there was a legal dispute, the Warriors would have been blocked from doing business in San Francisco. But there was no legal dispute. There has to be the absence of a legal dispute. In this instance, what you have is a legal action based on a public service concern, the coronavirus. So I would be shocked if the Coliseum turned around and said, okay, you can play here, because it would make a mockery of the public health laws that were established by the county board of supervisors in Santa Clara. So that's why that wouldn't be done. So there you go. Because I think someone at The Athletic had said Coliseum or something like that. And I should now basically let that person know that the Coliseum is simply not happening. Coliseum, let's see. Oakland Coliseum not happening because of political concerns, policy signal. See, I'm putting here. Okay, so no. Putting it in the tweet out there. Okay, so it's not happening. All right, and period. Also, the other concern is, what would they do? Well, let's kind of work backward there. They would simply have to alter their schedule so that their games that were to be played there are played elsewhere. That's the only way I see out of this. Or they would have to shift that game. Well, yeah, they would have to shift that game someplace else. Maybe the Raiders Stadium is available, Allegiant Stadium, right? I mean, however you look at it, it's a big mess. No question about it. It's a gigantic mess. But I can tell you that the Coliseum is not going to turn around at all and say, oh, yeah, come over and use our stadium, and there's no other place to use. And you're not going to find any other place in the state of California doing that either. So they're not going to go down to, say, Inglewood, all right, and use their stadium, because that county of California is not going to try to make another county in California look bad over the coronavirus issue. So forget that. That also is not happening. Again, if you're just coming in, I'm explaining that the reason why the Coliseum is not going to be used for the 49er games is because it would be an encroachment on the Board of Supervisors' decision regarding their attempt to curb the coronavirus. And commonly, one jurisdiction does not step over the feet of another jurisdiction in California over the issues like this, particularly over public safety issues, okay? It doesn't happen. So those of you out there speculating, those of you in the press who don't have, like, my experience, for example, I'm just letting you know, as a guy who worked for the mayor of Oakland as economic advisor, who headed the effort to bring the Super Bowl to Oakland. We lost to Jacksonville, who's had a lot of experience of many types with this. Basically, I'm just letting you know that's not going to happen. And so you're not going to get anybody that's going to give you a thumbs up on that. That's not going to happen. So anyway, where are we now with this other situation? I'm going back through Twitter here, and I'm looking at just catching up regarding Denver Broncos. So let's play Denver Broncos QB. Here's what I think of should be done with the Broncos, all right, in terms of the latest news, okay? Here it is. Here's the statement from the Denver Broncos. I don't know if you can see this, but let me put it up here. And there's the status regarding the Broncos. Let me see if I can move the screen so you can get a look at what I'm about to read to you. One moment, please, as I share the screen with you. And let's see here. Denver Broncos. There it is. Here is the statement, folks. There it is for your perusement. Shortly before Saturday's practice, we were notified by the NFL that new contract tracing information required quarterbacks Drew Lock, Brent Rypien, and Blake Bortles to be identified as high-risk COVID-19 close contacts. The three quarterbacks who were not experiencing any symptoms immediately left the practice field and departed UC Health Trading Center. All three have consistently tested negative for COVID-19 via both the daily PCR testing and additional POC testing administered as a precaution. With NFL and NFLPA protocols mandating a live quarantine period for high-risk close contacts, we were informed by the league that Drew Lock, Brent Rypien, and Blake Bortles will be ineligible to participate in Sunday's game against New Orleans. We will continue to work closely with the NFL whenever there is a positive COVID-19 case, including sharing all available information in a thorough and timely manner to ensure the safety of our team. So this response didn't bring out the best reaction, of course. Robert Emery says, weak sauce. Grow a pair and call out the NFL's hypocrisy for the Pats, Ravens, and Steelers receiving delays to accommodate them. This is what you get without a strong owner. Sell the team, this person says. And Ernst says, they tested negative and can't play. So the other, let's see here. And there are other replies as well. This one says, bruh, these folks are brutal. Bruh, these three morons weren't wearing masks when they should have been. Don't follow the rules. Don't get a delayed game. And this Robert Emery guy says, you think Cam Newton caught up being safe? And so he says, who's going to be your starting QB? My fantasy needs answers. So there you go, folks. And it says, this person makes an interesting point. Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson, both NFL, both MVPs, tested positive for COVID-19 and their games got postponed. All 4 Denver quarterbacks out due to COVID-19, and they still have to play. That's what we get for not having a winning record. All about the money. Way to go, NFL, way to go. And it's NBC Sports should get the medal for the headline. And listen to this. You're not misreading this headline. The Broncos have no quarterbacks available for tomorrow because they've all been exposed to COVID-19. They should have finished it by saying, and yet the game goes on. David Martin says the Broncos need Kaepernick, but they will probably start John Elway before picking up Cap. Ridiculousness. Quote, all 4 of the QBs on the Denver Bronco roster have been ruled ineligible for Sunday's matchup with the New Orleans Saints, which begs the question, if they keep doing this, I mean, how many Broncos have COVID-19? All right. Raiders says, I'm going to watch the Denver game tomorrow on Oakland 49ers. Anyone? Raiders, hey, Raiders 101, Oakland 49ers isn't happening because, again, I will say no Oakland 49ers because Alameda County will not encroach. I'm writing this down. Encroach on Santa Clara County public health decision. Okay, I want to make that clear for anybody coming here. It's not, see that? Look, it's not happening, folks. Read that. No Oakland 49ers because Alameda County will not encroach on Santa Clara County public health decision. That is not done. That's politics 101, folks. It's not done. It's the same reason why the Raiders were not able to play in Giant Stadium. Remember, they tried. There was all this noise that they were going to do it by the press. And I kept saying to anyone who wouldn't listen, that's not how politics works. That's how governance does not. That is not how governance works. Okay. Which gets to my other point I'm about to make. All right. Learn how government works so you're not running around making these ridiculous ideas and assumptions. You would say on its face, why is it ridiculous they have a stadium next door? And on its face, I understand what you're saying. But we have not just months or years, but decades of political protocol, which point to, particularly in this instance, the Raiders, not the Raiders, but the 49ers not playing at the Coliseum. Or for that matter, hey, the question is, would that be the case if the Raiders had problems playing in Allegiant Stadium and wanted to come back to Oakland? It would be the same thing because we're talking about national emergency. And so what you don't want to do is send out a signal that you're trying to make another public organization look bad, okay? You just don't do it. Jimmy says, so who do you think will play? Right now, no one. I don't think that, as I think about it, the question is there an alternative? The only alternative the 49ers would have to even think they're eligible to get is some kind of exemption or rider, or there's no fine attached to this, okay? Where he says, I got you, understand, but that would be so 2020 if that ever happened. That's all right. Reno 49ers, LA, interesting. Well, here's the thing. Not LA, okay? Again, we're in a pandemic, all right? So again, forget LA. It's California. The governor would not greenlight one jurisdiction going against the public health or edict of another jurisdiction regarding to the pandemic. You can get that out of your head, all right? Again, that's not happening, all right? That's just simply not happening. I don't have to call the governor to have him say that, okay? And, all right, I don't. So I've been around long enough to know how this works. And again, it's for the same set of reasons that Mark Davis did not get to play in Oracle Park, what we used to call Pac-12, Pac-Bell Park, where the Giants play. The Board of Supervisors said no. And I got a real chuckle out of that, okay? Because I know how politics works, particularly in the Bay Area and California, but especially with issues like this. This is where they make their money in terms of protecting the public. As long as they hold up the sign that they are protecting the public in big letters, you can forget any of these side deals that you think are going to go on. It is not happening. I saw it when I was intern to the Oakland Redevelopment Agency from 1987 to 1991. I saw it when I was a member of the Alameda Base Reuse Committee. I was put there by Alameda County Supervisor Keith Carson. I saw it when I was economic advisor to Oakland Mayor Elihu Harris from 1995 to 2001. From 1995 to 1999. I've seen it covering Oakland as a blogger, Oakland's first true blogger, since 2004 up to present day. I've seen it advising every single person who is executive director of the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Joint Powers Authority. It's not happening, folks. Okay, forget it. It's not happening. All right. And here in Cali, we can't even get out of the purple tier. No. And that's the other thing is the number of you don't realize they are in really tight, stringent areas. Okay. And where they're at now, and I'm glad you mentioned that, is it's pretty dire straits when they point out that they are in a situation where they have a new higher tier that's limited for the next 3 weeks. And again, you're not going to get a situation where one public organization is saying, oh, hey, you know what? It's cool. You can come over and play with us, play in our, deal. No, that is not happening. It's not the way things work. You can put it out there. If anybody writes that as press, you're immediately to let them know, hey, you know what? That just doesn't work. All right, I've said enough about that. But I think you get the picture, okay? What's the NFL going to do? I think they need to rearrange their schedule so that the 49ers away games have to be moved up. They have to, that's really what they have to do. It's a big mess, folks. Just plainly a big mess. Let me show you what I'm talking about as far as the limited stay-at-home orders. Hey, everybody, welcome to Zenny 62. It says Monterey has high cases. So calls out, where do you think they will go then? Raiders 101, again, they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to have to postpone the games. I think the best case for them to have is to rearrange their away games. So in other words, whatever date the 49ers are to have at home will have to be turned into an away game, and the 49ers home game dates have to be pushed back. That's the only logical solution. You're talking about a 3-week period here. And for those of you who haven't seen the dates, all right, they look like the limited stay-at-home orders look like this, and I'll read them to you right now as they appear on Oakland News Now. And it reads, the Alameda County Health Care Services Agency issued a press release on the state of California, limited stay-at-home order last week. So remember, this is a statewide order, all right? And here's the full press release. The state of California announced a limited stay-at-home order, generally requiring, so this is for the entire state, generally requiring that non-essential work, movement, and gatherings stop between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and counties in the purple tier per the state's blueprint for a safer economy. The order will take place 10 p.m. Saturday, November 21st, and remain in effect until 5 a.m. December 21st, although it may be extended or revised as needed. Alameda County is in the purple tier, and residents and businesses will be impacted by the state's order. We welcome this focused, targeted effort by the state to allow to slow the steep rise in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations occurring in Alameda County, the Bay Area, and the state. The state has explained this order does not prevent restaurants from operating after 10 p.m. for takeout and does not prevent people from going to the grocery store or the pharmacy for essential needs or walking their dog in the neighborhood. The order also provides that it does not prevent members of the same household from leaving the residence altogether as long as they do not intermingle while others are out. This is not an exhaustive list, but we hope these examples will clarify or help clarify what residents and businesses may be permitted to do under the state's order. It does not mean that we must restrict our interactions with people outside of our households for non-essential activities. It does mean that we must restrict our interactions with people outside of our households for non-essential activities or social gatherings. We ask our residents to continue to protect themselves, their loved ones, and their communities from COVID-19 by limiting gathering with anyone you don't live with, wearing a face mask covering whenever you leave home, maintaining at least 6 feet of distance from anyone you don't live with. Wash your hands frequently and follow the Bay Area's holiday gathering and travel guidance as well. As a reminder, we are in the midst of a flu season, and this year is more critical than ever for everyone 6 months of age or older to get a flu shot. We must avoid a twin dynamic and surges that compromise our hospital and healthcare system, along with flu systems that mimic COVID-19. Now, for those of you reading this, and I might think, that, well, all I have to do is find a county that's not on purple tier. Again, what I said to you regarding political protocol runs. In other words, look, if you're trying to get a football team, you're trying to give them wiggle room to have their event anyway, there's no public official in the state of California worth their salt that will want to take on the look of defying a state rule, okay? I'm not saying that it won't happen. So let's twist this around the other way. Let's say maybe Pasadena has the Rose Bowl, right? Maybe Pasadena says, hey, you know what? We're going to let it happen. The trouble is, let's see where Pasadena is as a county and what tier. And I'm saying this because the Pasadena did take an edict that they were not going to comply with the curfew. All right. So what's to stop them from going a step further and deciding, hey, you know what? We're going to try to get the Rose Bowl some business. Okay. That's a good question. Let's see, Pasadena and county, and then CA. Pasadena is in Los Angeles County. Ooh, so since Pasadena is in Los Angeles County, right, that's a bad thing, because if I type tier, all right, and so here are all the counties that cannot reopen under Governor Newsom's new tier system. Okay, and let me show you this so that you understand. We understand what we're looking up against here. Let me show you this. This is right here. All right, this is the 4 counties, the 4-tier system that Governor Newsom has. All right, and 9 counties are changing tier. Calaveras, Lake, Palmas, San Francisco, and San Mateo counties moved from red to the purple tier. Modoc was moved backward 2 tiers from orange to purple. So as we go down here, here is the map. Guess what? Almost the entire state of California is in the purple tier. I repeat to you, as you can see here, almost the entire state of California is in the purple tier. That means from the standpoint of finding an NFL-ready stadium to host games, forget it. It's not happening. Okay, so I don't even have to speculate regarding how they respond with respect to political protocol, right? Forget it. Look at the state of California. It's purple. It's purple. Okay, the state of California is purple. So forget it. So Rita says 49ers got the Rams. Nope, they don't. For the reasons I just stated. Again, forget it. The 49ers not going to run down for the same reasons. It's purple tier. So forget it. All right? Broncos shouldn't even play. Nope, they shouldn't. NFL will finish the season unless public health tells them they can't. You're getting warm. You're getting warm. David Compton says it's almost like every time we look, the star players from these NFL teams are dropping off like flies. So you have a bunch of no-name players to entertain us. Yeah, that's right, David. That is the situation. It's very much like the NFL strike of I believe it was 1994, and you end up putting scrubs on the field. That's pretty much the situation you have here. But I think it's for a better reason than just money. It's for our health. So there you have it, folks. California is purple tier. The whole state is purple tier. You're not going to see the 49ers going from Santa Clara to Oakland or Alameda County. Alameda is in the same position. Coliseum is in the same position. They can't go down to Inglewood, same position. They can't really go anywhere unless, of course, you want to tell me that substantial area out there somewhere in California in that area has an NFL-ready stadium. I don't think so. I don't think so. So the best bet that is out there is they're going to have to figure out, excuse me, take a drink here. They're going to have to figure out where they're going to have to figure out how they move the schedule around to accommodate this. And also they need to put masks on the players on the playing field itself. The NFL also needs to shut off at all stadiums fan access. I don't care what the reason is, but each stadium has to be regarded as a bubble. We can't have 32 teams and basically 32 different ways of dealing with the coronavirus. But right now, that's what you have. That's chaos. Now, some of you are going to say, well, some of these teams handle it differently. No. If you are in one place where they're allowing people in, then whatever loose or lax standards that place has falls into the stadium, and the likelihood of someone who is coronavirus infected coming in and bringing it with them, going into some near air duct that gets blown, hitting somebody else that infects that person, next thing you know, you got a continuation of the problem. Because I remind you, everybody of this, we don't know where this virus came from. Well, excuse me, how it got there. The World Health Organization tells us it originated in Wuhan, but they have summarily ruled out that it came from bats and have written in black and white they don't know where it came from. All right? That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. So, and so he says, I just look at the schedule and the Rams game is not postponed. Well, you looked at a schedule, but look, all I'm saying is that if they wind up playing it, it would be because they got some sort of waiver. But I also caution you looking at a website, because websites are slow to update. If you go to Twitter, all right, and check it out, I seriously doubt you get anything about LA Rams. I think right now, let me see something here. Trying here. Say, I'm just asking a league. Say, is, I'm just writing this. Out and exemption with Santa Clara. What I watched is what I asked is if the NFL is working out an exemption with the county of Santa Clara. And if I get an answer in a timely fashion, you'll know, okay? And 6 hours ago, Santa Clara County officials had said there are no pro or college sports teams to have games or practices in the county. And that includes direct contact for the next 3 weeks. That includes the 49ers, which have 2 home games scheduled in that window. And the latest news under that is Santa Clara was looking for, this is an opinion that someone says that Santa Clara is looking for any reason to cancel a 49er game. I don't think that's the case. I really don't. Okay? I don't think so. And this other organization says the 49ers and other Bay Area sports teams are left without a home in Santa Clara County. It's not just Bay Area sports teams, okay? So if you look at, for example, LA Rams game, all right? Let's see here. I don't see 49ers playing Rams tomorrow at SoFi. They might as well stay in LA and working on the game. That's the other thing. The 49ers playing Rams tomorrow at SoFi. And this is Rams hosting Niners in LA, but Niners can't practice or play games in Santa Clara. See, I'm wondering about the Rams game in LA, because LA, I would not be surprised to see that game moved, because again, Inglewood is part of the purple tier. All right. So if I take a look at, let me try Inglewood here. Inglewood, California County. That's also Los Angeles County. Same rules. All right. Tier. Okay. And public health urges residents to be cautious. They have the county monitoring list. Then let's see here. It's Los Angeles to discuss stay-at-home order and as virus spreads. That was 4 days before it was imposed. And so, yeah, there's no indication here of any intention of allowing SoFi Stadium to violate the tier. It's just not happening, okay? It's just not happening. And, you know, it just isn't. So, when I don't see anything to challenge, and this is the headline from the Orange County Register. They got it right. Rams and Chargers fans still shut out. State unveils new coronavirus guidelines. And this was before the limited one. This date was like bingo, October. Okay, I call that one. All right. So now, because Orange County has shut down a number of restaurants, the state of California is not playing. All right. When it comes to moves to try to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Okay. It's just, again, not happening. Let's see here with sports. Rams. Yeah, so because the Rams canceled their practice for the reasons are okay, but this report states that the organization averted a new COVID-19 scare. But what that means is that they averted one that had to do with someone being infected. Okay, that's what's going on here. So move to Parlor. Don't you think by the players wearing masks will cause a breathing problem on the field of play? David, they wear mouthpieces, some of them. So I think it's something that players would get used to because some players already wear mouth guards. And I think that's something that they would have to get used to. Also, I find it hard to believe that someone hasn't designed a special mask by now that NFL players can use. They don't have to, use the typical mask that you or I use, the purple one, or the blue one, right? No, David, I wear my mask, no problem. See, there you go. Jamal Mills, how you doing, Jamal? The man. We still got to get together, man. He says the rule is that if you don't have your helmet on the sideline, you need to wear a mask. I'm saying that right now they need to change that rule so that you wear a mask on the field of play. All right. David, I have problems breathing while wearing a mask. Some people do. I think that, again, for high-performance athletes, a special mask should be designed. I really do. Getting back to this, if you want to see this again, by the way, this is it. I want you to see that this is the case. I want you to see that the state of California, I would estimate that 80%, I would say 80% of California is in purple tier. Okay. And I'm typing that so I can then show this to you. 80% of California is in purple tier. 80%. Okay, look at all that. Wait, that's bad stuff. Purple tier. All right, folks. I'm going to shuffle off the buffalo here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Subscribe to Zenny62, please, and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. And I will see everyone